Well, what are we playing for?
Center point.
Fair enough.
Hey, you! You haven't finished cleaning the spittoons out yet.
Yes, sir. Good night, gentlemen.
Well, time is up. Class is dismissed.
Well, I had some time getting that note.
Thank you. Same time tomorrow?
No. This ends the life class for this term. See me next year.
You can have your clothes when you pay me what you owe me, and not before.
I enjoy this breath of air after being hours in a stuffy office.
The humidity is very bad. It affects my paints. I've often wanted to come here and work these cool evenings. Glorious subjects all around one.
So few people realize that. You know, I practically had a fight with my family tonight when I told them I wanted to come here and spend the evening with my friends. They can't understand a man wanting to get away from the social world.
Said you were a clerk?
Well, hardly that. I have charge of a department. I work overtime for a few hours, 4 to 5 nights a week, just to clean up the odds and ends.
May I?
Sure.
I guess a lady's got a right to take herself a snootful of air if she wants to, hasn't she?
Sure. But if I catch you picking up anything else, I'll run you in.
What do they do to you when they run you in? Oh, they haul you up in front of a judge and he says guilty or not guilty. You say guilty. He says 30 days. Is it very terrible to be in jail? Just like a rest cure, they give you good food, clean clothes, but you can't make any money there. Well, have you ever been in jail? Sure. I got fat just sitting around with nothing to do but eat.
Oh, I should think the disgrace of it would...
Don't be silly. It ain't no disgrace. The way I got it figured out, there ain't no disgrace as long as you behave like a perfect lady at all times. Excuse me, dearie.
One of life's tragedies.
She wouldn't do nothing else if she knew how. The things that get me, though, is the young ones, like her. Pathetic. I never blame anyone for anything they do when they're hungry.
Hungry?
Yes, she looks to me as though she's a newcomer to the game.
Doing anything for a little while, big boy?
Yes. I'm taking you for a walk. Right to the station. Picked on the plainclothes man the first time.
Too bad.
Come on. Come on.
What's the meaning of this?
Well, what do you think?
Take your hands off my granddaughter.
You're what?
My granddaughter. Come with me, dear.
Now, just a minute.
I'll have to explain, officer. My granddaughter's writing an article for one of the magazines on social welfare. She was bound and determined to get her material firsthand. A ridiculous idea. I told you you'd get yourself in trouble. You can learn all you want to know from observation. Now, come with me, Isabella.
Now, not so fast, Granddad. Her name's no more Isabella than mine is.
I don't care to discuss Anatona Major with you, sir. My card. If you insist on taking this any further, I shall report the whole incident to Judge Patterson. Come, dear.
All right, come on. Sit down. Move on.
You shouldn't have done a thing like that.
Why'd you meddle into my business? I knew what I was doing. I was trying to get arrested so I could go to jail.
Why do you want to go to jail?
Oh, because I'm tired and hungry. But you spoiled it by butting in. Oh, why didn't you mind your own business?
Try and control yourself.
Oh, why should I control myself? Doesn't matter what happens to me. Nobody cares.
Oh, that's the wrong attitude to take.
What attitude should I take? When a girl's good, they hound her to be bad. When she's bad, they hound her to be good, then kick her out in the street for good measure. Oh, I've tried to be decent, and what's it gotten me? I'm always wrong, and I'm sick of trying.
Where do you live?
Nowhere. They put me out tonight.
We'll put you right back there again.
That's easy to talk about, but I owe back rent and plenty of it.
We'll find a way of taking care of that. Call a taxi, Mr. Cook.
Yes, sir.
I must have left my wallet at home. Have you a few dollars about you? Thank you. I'll hand it back to you tomorrow.
Taxi right at the entrance.
Oh, come. My credentials.
This might be your card, and it mightn't be. Anyhow, I found out that the richer the customer, the slower the pay. No money, no room.
But, madam...
Don't you call me no madam. I'll have you know this is a respectable house.
Of course. That's why I insisted on my granddaughter coming back here until my estate is open for the season.
Your estate?
Yes. She said to me, please take me back to dear Mrs... Your name has escaped me.
Mrs. Guppy. And I'm telling you, this hot air don't get you nowhere. No dough, no room.
Very well. Get me a blank check.
Don't sign your name to no check.
Why not? How much does she owe you?
It's $35 a month for the apartment she had, strictly in advance, and $70 back rent.
I'll make it for $150. Cover any extras she might possibly require. Please endorse it.
What?
Sign your name right there. Thank you. Now kindly open the apartment.
Well, how about my dough?
When the bank's open in the morning, I'll have this cashed and bring you the money.
Oh, no, you don't. I want my dough now.
I've had enough of this. You've given me your check for $150, endorsed in my favor. Now, one more word, and I'll declare the whole thing forfeit. You've been paid for the room, now produce it.
Yes, sir. Here are the things. None of them has been touched.
That'll be all, thank you.
What are you going to do about that check?
We'll see about that in the morning.
Maybe we ought to get her something to eat.
I don't like this.
Looks as though she's passed out.
I've seen this before. It's a nervous collapse from worry and excitement. All she needs is food and rest.
A warm bath might help her.
Well, I've never given a gal a bath before, but I've washed everything else.
What she needs is a woman to take care of her.
Well, I'll get the landlady.
No, I'd rather not have any more dealings with her than necessary. We'll find someone else. You run out like a good fellow and find someone. Get some water.
Now climb in and lie flat. How'd you get that washboard effect, kid? Swear off eating?
Nope, I ran out of money.
Tired? Yeah. Tired nothing. You're starved. That's what's wrong with you. Hey, one of you old fossils hop on your crutches and hobble down and get some milk and eggs. And a bottle of good sherry. And if I don't get 75 cents change back out of that, there's going to be somebody carried out of here on a stretcher, and it ain't going to be me.
The idea. A ransom never takes money from a woman.
How'd your spirits get so low, kid?
Guess you don't know what it's like to be broke and hungry.
Oh, no? Well, write me a letter about it sometime. Over on your tummy now, kid. Here, throw this under your belt. Mix yourself another one for breakfast. There, I think that fixes things up for tonight. So I'll be toddling on.
Thanks for everything you've done for me.
Oh, that's all right, kid. I'm always doing something for somebody. You guys better get out of here and let her get some sleep. Night. Night.
I think we had better leave.
Yeah.
You know I appreciate all you've done for me, don't you?
Oh, forget it.
I wish you'd tell me who you are. I'm Rose Wentworth.
I'm Colonel Henry Randolph Ransom. Permit me. And this is my very good friend, Matthew O'Donnell, internationally famous artist. And my very good friend, Andrew Cook, well-known financial expert. At times, he's created no little stir in the street. I might add, we represent law, art, and finance. How can we serve you?
I don't need anything now except a job.
Well, that should be easily arranged. What kind of a job?
Oh, anything.
Well, that's rather vague. What have you done?
Oh, nothing lately. A few odd jobs when I first came here.
Where did you come from?
Centerville.
Well, that's simple. We just send you back to Centerville.
No, I can't go back there.
Oh, I see. You don't want to go back and admit you've been a failure. Now, take my advice and put your pride in your pocket and go back home.
But I haven't any home.
We might be able to help you more if you tell us something about yourself.
Sure, get it off your chest.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was raised in an orphan asylum. One day, a man and his wife came along and adopted her. Oh, just so she could help with the work. Then when the boys started to come around to see this little girl, they wouldn't let her go out because she was so strong and healthy and useful. They didn't want her to get married and run away. Then one day, a certain boy came along, Prince Charming. The girl fell in love with him, and when he asked her to marry him, she was never so happy in all of her life.
And what did the man and his wife think?
Oh, they never knew. She had to meet him secretly, outside, after everyone else was asleep. And then one night the man found them. Oh, they weren't doing anything wrong. But he sent the boy away. And in the morning he gave the girl her clothes and told her to get out. When the girl came to the city, she found there was nothing for her unless she had special training or good references. The moral of this story is it doesn't pay to be honest and decent. From now on, I'm going the limit. I'm going to be bad. Bad as a good girl can be.
You'll do nothing of the kind.
Oh, yes, I will. I'm going to see what it's like to sleep later than 6 in the morning. Eat something besides cheap lunches. Ride on something besides streetcars. Be loved instead of kicked around.
We'll not permit it.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it. This goody-goody stuff is off from now on.
Rose.
Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't sound as though I appreciated all you've done for me tonight, does it?
We'd better go and let you get some rest. But I'd like to talk to you in the morning, if I may.
Certainly, if morning ever comes.
The poor girl's in love.
I don't know anything else that'll make anyone so miserable.
That makes our course fairly clear. We must find that young man and send for him.
You must have been out stepping last night, Grandfather.
What did you say, Raymond?
I said you were out pretty late last night, weren't you? You got in a couple of minutes after I did.
What time was that?
Oh, about 2 o'clock.
Well, did you hear that, Herbert?
What?
Your father came in at 2 this morning. It isn't right for him to be out prowling around at that hour. I think he's getting childish.
I'll speak to him about it.
If my presence is too irksome, I shall be most happy to leave. I've tried not to intrude except at mealtime. But if that is straining on your hospitality, I can always go to the Soldiers' Home.
Let's stop harping on the same thing. I'm getting sick of it. My, is it that late? I'll have to hurry. I have an important conference.
Oh, son. Son.
Yes?
I'd like a little extra money.
Well, your allowance was deposited to your account as usual, wasn't it?
Yes, but I need a little more.
How much?
Mere trifle, a couple of hundred.
A couple of hundred what?
Dollars.
Oh. In the name of heavens, what do you want with so much money?
Son, I never ask you how you spend your money, so please let me handle my funds in my own way.
You all have another cup of coffee now, Colonel Ransom?
Yes.
No, he's had 1 cup. That's all that's good for him.
I will have another cup of coffee. I'm tired of being dictated to. It's Grandpa, you don't do this, and you can't do that. I'm sick and tired of this nagging. If I want a cup of coffee, I'll have another cup of coffee, and I do want another cup of coffee. Pour me a cup of coffee, Tessie.
Yes, sir.
Herbert, speak to your father. The idea of him talking like that to me.
Now, Dad, you are a little obnoxious.
Don't forget I'm your father, and I demand the respect that's due me. I never denied you any reasonable request, and a couple of hundred won't hurt you. And don't forget, I founded the fortune that you're guarding so carefully. And as interest due me for my efforts, I'll accept your check.
If you can give me an adequate reason.
Otherwise, you refuse.
I certainly do.
Just for that, I won't accept it. I'll show you that I'm not the old fool you think I am.
Ain't you all gonna drink your coffee, Colonel Ransom?
That's enough, Tessie. Go to the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
To the National Trust Company and hurry.
Is Mr. Ransom going to the office?
That's neither your business nor mine. Drive. I'm a little short of funds, General. It's always been my policy to go straight to the head when there's anything to be done.
Of course, I'm always very pleased to see you, Colonel, but I hope you will stick to your business as briefly as possible. I'm very busy this morning.
You always were busy. Why don't you learn to relax and enjoy life?
And what was it you wanted?
It's rather a delicate matter. You see, I had to give this woman a check, and I hadn't quite enough funds to cover it.
What woman?
The woman I got the apartment from.
What apartment?
The apartment for the girl.
What girl?
The girl I picked up in the park. Naturally, the landlady wanted the rent in advance.
Hey, wait a moment.
You would see her, you wouldn't blame me. She's barely more than 20 and the...
Why, you old rascal, you.
Well, it only goes to prove one. While there's life, there's hope. Well, I had to have an apartment. I couldn't take her to my own home. No, of course not. So I wrote a check for $150.
Huh. Is that all you want?
No, sir, I want 1,000. I need some more for some other things.
Is my father in there?
Yes.
Could I speak to the general by phone?
He doesn't usually want to be disturbed during a conference.
But this is very important. Please.
Mr. Ransom wants to speak to you.
General.
Yes. I see.
You know, Father is getting a little childish. Yes, we have to keep money from him. Oh, you understand. No, please, don't let him have a cent. I'll arrange for whatever he needs. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, there's only one reason why I'm letting you have that.
What's that?
Curiosity.
It'll be repaid to you from time to time out of my allowance.
Oh, nonsense, Hank. You don't owe me a red cent. But you've got to take me up to that park sometime. Come along in, gentlemen.
Follow him. Watch where he goes and everything he does. And don't let him see you.
Okay, Dad.
Oh, they're lovely. But you needn't have been so generous.
We won't say anything about that right now.
Oh, pardon me.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, thank you. Come on in. More presents.
Great minds run in the same channel, I see.
Oh, it ain't much.
I picked up something this morning, but I sort of got nervous about giving it to you.
Oh, what is it? I love surprises.
Sure you won't get sore?
No. Oh, it's beautiful. But it couldn't have been.
See, I knew you'd get sore.
Oh, no, it isn't that, but it's so expensive.
Oh, it didn't cost me nothing. I mean, it was willed to me, but I had no use for it. But I don't want it around, so I thought perhaps that you would like it.
They look like real diamonds.
I've never had anyone be so nice to me before. I'm not used to it. And it kind of hurts.
It's more blessed to give than to receive.
I'll never be able to repay you. I know. I'll take the fruit and make a pie.
That's fine.
Then I'll cook dinner for all of us here. What do you say?
It's been a long time since I had a dinner consisting of food. Served nothing but vitamins where I came from.
Oh, what? We'll need some other things. The cupboard's bare here.
Gentlemen, I move we go out and do the shopping while the child dresses.
Yes, that's a good idea, but,
Naturally, I insist on playing the host.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
I have a fondness for chicken and dumplings.
and sweet potatoes and gravy.
Some zucchini. She's a dear to go to so much trouble.
Were you looking for someone?
I
Yes, I'm Colonel Ransom's grandson.
Oh, he stepped out for just a minute. You may come in and wait if you like.
Thank you.
Well, he's going to stand there if you want to come in. I'm sorry I'm not dressed. You see, I wasn't expecting company so early.
Oh, that's all right. That makes it more intriguing.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
I'm sorry I haven't any cigarettes to offer you.
Oh, that's quite all right. I have some.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Aren't flowers lovely?
Yes, they are. I must say the old gent certainly knows his onions.
I beg your pardon.
Huh. I see where I'm going to have to stop following him around. Apparently there's some facts about life no one ever told me.
Will you excuse me while I dress?
Certainly, but where are you going to dress? I won't my being here make any difference.
Of course it'll make a difference. I'll dress in the bathroom. There's a lock on the door.
The old gent give you that bracelet, too?
I don't think that's any of your business.
But it is my business. You see, I don't go for the idea of my grandfather being taken for a ride by anybody. Oh, I know all the questions and answers. You're a poor little girl without any friends or money. And if Grandfather doesn't buy you pretty little things, you'll just cry and cry. Applesauce.
Did you say your name was Ransom?
Correct.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you're any relation to him. He hasn't a drop of skunk blood in his whole makeup.
Wait a minute. I don't blame you. But if you're going to play the game, play it right. Pick on someone your own age.
Don't you dare talk to me that way. Get out of here.
I'm a little deaf in that ear. I didn't hear you. Now, how about it? I'm young and healthy.
Now you get out of here.
Oh, spunky little devil, aren't you? Well, the Ransoms always did like their horses and women spirited.
Let me go.
Why should I? I'm having lots of fun.
I always knew you were a coward and a weakling, but I never thought you were a cat.
Well, in the fight for your property, huh, Granddad?
You dare insinuate.
I don't have to insinuate. It's plain enough for anyone to see.
I know what you think. If you ever say it again, on my word of honor, I'll...
Don't make a fool of yourself.
There's something I'd like to say to you. Except for the help of these three men, I might have been all you think me to be.
I'm terribly sorry. I really didn't understand. I hope you'll accept my apology.
That's right. Crawl.
Maybe I was a little hasty in jumping at conclusions.
You're like all the rest of your class. Cheap and despicable, with no respect for anything. Thank heaven there are men of up in the world. You'll have reason to know it if you ever come near Rose again. Now get out.
I really meant it when I said I was sorry.
I know. I'm sorry to admit he's my own flesh and blood.
Oh, you're not to blame for what he did.
Oh, yes, I am. I should have insisted on a proper education. That he learned to ride and wrestle, and give blows and take them. Instead, he was sent to schools where he learned to dance and fawn and to become a cad. I wasn't man enough to stand up and fight them.
Well, he wasn't entirely wrong in what he thought. Don't you see how things look? I'm the one who's really to blame. I guess I was just too tired and upset to think. But it can't go on like this. I'll go away.
You'll do nothing of the sort.
Oh, don't worry. I won't do what I threatened last night. I couldn't now. I'll just go away and get myself a job. And if I ever feel desperate again, I'll just think, I wonder what Grandpa would want me to do. I'll pretend I really am your granddaughter. But I've got to make you proud of me. I'll be every inch a soldier, and I'll die before I strike my colors.
Perhaps I am what my family thinks, a doddering, childish old man. There's one thing I'd like to accomplish before I give up entirely, and I hope you gentlemen will be with me. I refer to our duty to Rose. It's necessary that the world gives her a square deal.
We'll help in every way possible.
The best ain't good enough for her.
Then I suggest we pool our resources, engage the adjoining apartments, and protect her in every way possible, and destroy any misunderstanding regarding our motives. Naturally, I realize this will mean loss of business time, but will you do it?
I think I can arrange my affairs.
Well, things are a little bit slack with me right now.
Good. Then we'll move in at once. I think this is a happy solution to our problems. She can cook for us, and we'll help her in every way possible until she gets straightened out. Now, don't let her get away until I come back. And please make my regrets about the dinner. Good day, gentlemen.
It's a difficult situation, yet I can hardly bring myself to take public action.
I should think not.
Oh, we're nearly frantic. He's been there over a week, and nothing we can say or do will make him change his mind.
Well, why not let him alone?
But he's my father.
All the more reason why you should look at his actions with tolerance. And if you think you're going to get me to interfere, you're barking up the wrong tree. The old catawampus.
It may be very amusing to you, but to his family it's different.
You take my advice and let him alone. When he gets tired, he'll come home. And not before.
Yes. Well, thank you. And if he should come for more money, you'll let him have it, of course, and charge it to my account. Good day.
Yeah.
Good day.
Colonel Ransom's waiting on the telephone.
Oh. Well, hello, Hank. So, tell me, how's the family? What? A job? What for? Oh, you want to marry her off to a young man? Yeah, well, that's a new one on me. Sure, send him over. I'll dig up something for him. Yeah, anything I can do to help you from under.
Thank you. There you are, Charlie. Job all waiting for you. Gee, that's swell. Mrs. Guppy.
Yes.
Will you fix this young man up with a room? You needn't worry about the money. Now, Charlie, come on up and meet the rest of the family.
Come in.
Rose, I got a surprise for you.
Charlie Hooper.
How are you, Rose? Well, aren't you glad to see me?
Oh, why, yes, sure.
She doesn't seem so tickled.
Oh, they're just shy.
Oh, of course I'm glad to see you. I was just sort of surprised. How have you been?
Well, now, that's more like it.
How did you know I was here?
Well, I didn't. The colonel looked me up and asked me to come. He seemed very anxious. He said you had been ill.
Oh, I see.
I've been terribly worried about you ever since you went away. I advertised in the papers and everything, but you just seemed to
please, I'd rather not talk about it. Are you going to stay long?
Why, I hope I am. The colonel got me a job, and I'm going to live here.
Oh.
Gentlemen, I don't approve of eavesdropping.
Well, you don't act as though you're very tickled about it.
Oh, it isn't that. It's just that everything seems more or less settled, doesn't it?
What are they saying?
Something about being settled.
Settled, eh? Fine.
Una giornata bella, come bella. Here's your gabooch. It'll be a 15 cents.
All right, now I'll have 3 bunches of spinach.
Yes, ma'am.
You can see what kind of a spot I'm in. Grandpa thinks he's done the grandest service in the world.
How do you feel about this, Gink? What's his name?
Charlie. Oh, I don't know. After you've been away from someone like that, your ideas sort of change.
Take my advice, kid, and don't fall for any guy.
Oh, he's working hard in the job, making good. I haven't had any trouble with him or anything like that, but well, I guess it's just that they're forcing us together too much.
Excuse me, Signorina, do you like some sweet onions?
Yes, I'll have a couple of bunches and 5 pounds of sweet potatoes,
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
I can see where you die an old maid. I like to stick around here and chin with you, kid, but I got work to do.
Why don't you come up and have dinner with us sometime, Maisie?
Thanks. Do you really want me?
Of course I do.
All right, I will. Now, you just take it easy and don't worry, and I'll try and figure things out for you. So long, kid.
Goodbye.
Thank you, my dear.
A good dinner, a good place to sleep, pleasant companions. What more could anybody want?
Excuse me.
We'll see who washes the dishes. Ace of spades, you're it.
Next time I do, my dear.
You insinuate?
No, only you told me once that you were the best poker player in Paducah. Everyone knows that dealing is the most important part of the game.
Well, I guess I'll go to the library tonight. That is, if you don't mind.
Charlie will go with you.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. I'd rather go alone. I might want to browse around a bit, sit down and read.
What do you say we go out and step a little?
Oh, I'd rather not.
Well, what's the matter? You off of me?
Oh, no, of course I'm not off you. I just want to go to the library, that's all.
I'm sorry to criticize, but your approach is all wrong. It should be nicer, smoother, more masterful.
Been waiting long?
Not very.
It was kind of hard for me to get away. They watch me every minute.
How's Grandfather?
Oh, he's fine. You've never heard of people having so much fun in all your life. They argue over everything under the sun, but they're happy.
That doesn't sound so good. We were in hopes he might be fed up by now.
I guess that all depends on me. They're determined I'm to marry Charlie, and they'll stay until I do.
Who's Charlie?
He's a boy I knew back home. They think we were just meant for each other and all that.
Are you in love with him?
No, but I like him.
Well, then that doesn't let me out entirely.
Oh, certainly not. I wouldn't sneak away to see you if I didn't like you, too.
I should have figured that out myself. By the way, what does this Charlie do?
Oh, the Colonel got him a job, driving an armored car for the National Trust Company.
Would you like to make some real dough?
For instance.
What would happen if that armored truck of yours ever had a flat tire?
Well, I'd get out and fix it.
Would you leave the door open?
Not for $5,000.
Would you for 10?
I tell you, I had a flat tire. Naturally, I got out to change, and when I was reaching for the jack,
Why didn't you close the door?
Well, I was going to, but...
But you didn't. Go on. What's the rest of your story?
That's all I remember until they brought me to.
Yeah, and while you were having your nap, the bank lost $120,000. That's expensive sleeping.
How did you happen to have tire trouble just where the thieves were waiting?
Yes, all ready with gas bombs to suffocate the guard.
But you could have missed that board full of nails, couldn't you?
Gentlemen, I object. This is not a court of law. You've no right to bulldoze this boy in this way.
Colonel, this is our investigation.
And rightly so. The responsibility of tracking down the thieves is square in your hands. But I deny before high heaven your right to blacken the name of an innocent boy who has all but died in defense of your property. The fact of the matter is, you're simply frantic because you've lost a few paltry dollars.
There are certain facts which lead us to suspect a connection with the crime.
Circumstantial evidence of the flimsiest kind. How could this boy, who's only been in the city a few weeks, learn the methods of crime and form criminal contacts? His business is driving a truck, nothing else. It's impossible. He could have known of the shipment of this money in time to plan the robbery. And where's the motive? That is a factor that must always be considered. You don't know what his ambition is, but I do. He came to the city to find the girl he loved, to take her back with him to a small country town where they could live in peace and happiness. A boy doesn't have to steal to do that. If he'd shown any inclination for luxuries, or for running around, or for being a spendthrift, I'd be the first to suspect him. But a boy who's looking forward to a simple home and a happy marriage wouldn't risk all that is precious to him for the sake of a few dollars that he doesn't even want. Indict him. Try him if you will. He'll only be acquitted. And that will be the end of it for you. The sad, heartbreaking thing about it is, his life will be ruined forever. I should like to suggest that you let me take him home to see that he gets proper medical attention and to assure him that you will not reward his loyalty by such a thing as a public indictment for a crime he could not possibly have committed.
Well, I guess we've done all we can. It's up to the underwriters now.
Thank you. I knew you'd see the just side of it. Come, Charlie.
It won't be necessary for you to report back to work, Hooper.
Now, I'll see that he gets some rest first. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
Everything all right?
Of course. Why shouldn't it be?
Oh, Mr. Hooper, here's the package came for you.
I'll get it. Anything I can do?
Oh, no. I just want to rest a little while. Be alone.
I see. I'll have Rose make you some soup.
All right.
Let me put the whole thing before you truthfully and honestly. I know the 1,000 little things that you've done for his comfort and happiness, and that's made him only all the more determined to stay away from his home and his family where he belongs. Don't you see, in doing the right thing, well, you've done the wrong.
Yes, but where he is, he has something to do. It makes him seem important. He has friends of his own age and of his own choosing. Oh, he's so happy there, it seems a shame to spoil all that.
Well, that's one side. Consider the other. He's an old man. He's not as strong and active as he thinks. He's had comforts all his life. Things you're instrumental in denying him.
Perhaps he doesn't want those things.
Father hasn't many more years to live. The number depends on the care and attention he gets from now on. With all the comforts he's used to, he may live for 10 years. But cramped up in a dismal one-room flat, with constant excitement, irregular sleep, unrestrained eating, smoking and drinking, no, I'm afraid the outcome is doubtful.
Well, I hadn't thought of that.
I've come to the conclusion that the only possible cure of the situation lies with you. Father has fascinated himself with the idea of being your guardian. Now, if you went away, he'd have no one to guard. So, naturally, he would drift back to where he belongs.
Well, there's nothing I wouldn't do for him.
I thought you might possibly go back home. Naturally, I would help. You could do that, couldn't you?
Yes, I could.
Well, think it over until tomorrow. I'm sure we all have the Colonel's interest at heart.
And the bugle sounded. And away we went, lickety-split up the hill. Our boys dropped like flies, but we never faltered. Then it was hand to hand. Pistols, bayonets, clubs, and fists. And I slipped and fell. I looked up. I saw a man standing right over me. Just as he was about to thrust a bayonet straight at me, what do you suppose happened?
Dad was rather severe with you tonight, wasn't he?
No, he was perfectly right.
Gee, you're swell. I'm getting to care more about you all the time.
Please don't.
Why?
I just don't want you to.
You've never forgiven me for our first meeting, have you?
Well, of course I have, but... Please take me home.
See that bird in that chair over there?
So what?
It's a dick. You're being tailed.
They haven't got anything on me.
You didn't spend any of that dough, did you?
Why not?
Why, it's all new stuff with serial numbers. It's dynamite.
Think I'll blow out of town.
Listen, smart guy, what you're going to do is nothing. Don't spend a nickel more than you did before. If you go on a spending spree, why, they're going to clamp down on you.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, wait. It's your shot. You're not leaving just yet.
That guy makes me nervous.
If you're going to start getting the jitters and figuring on going away to hide, you might just as well go down to headquarters.
Maybe you're right.
Did you hide it safely?
Yeah, in my grip.
Stupid. Boy, if you beat this rap, I'm going to hang my sock up next Christmas.
I'm going to go home.
I'm sure you'll find this a nice, quiet, respectable place, Mr. Hawkins. You going to be with us long?
Until my business is finished.
$1,000 more.
5? I'll call you. What have you got?
Queens.
Queens? How many?
1.
1? You win. Oh, come in. Hello, Charlie.
They've got detectives following me.
Sure. Let them detect. They won't find anything.
Yeah, I know, but it makes me feel like a criminal. One man followed me home, and now another has the room right next to me.
There ain't no use in getting excited over a flatfoot.
Well, I can't help being excited and nervous. I was thinking, I'd like to go home where people know me. Don't believe I'm a thief.
That might be all right.
Well, if I stay around here under suspicion, I never will get any place. And if I go away, they'll take it as a confession of guilt.
We'll have to think of a solution.
Say, they wouldn't think anything was wrong if I took my bride home with me, would they?
That's just what we've been hoping for.
Oh, we ought to give you a little blowout. When will you marry?
Well, I haven't asked her yet.
Oh, she'll snap you up like a hot potato.
Well, I'm not so sure. Go in and ask her.
Oh, well...
Now, you go right in and make a clean breast of everything, just as you did to me. Only add a few little sweet things. Women like that, especially when they're being proposed to.
I don't know.
Don't be bashful. Wait. I'll break the ice for you.
Come in.
My, you look lovely. Just like a bride.
Oh, I certainly don't feel like one.
That happens to be just what I want to talk to you about. You know, I was thinking. It's about time I was going back to my home and family. You know that son of mine? I'm worried about his affairs. I really ought to look after him more.
That's right. You should go home.
But I don't want to go until I know that things have straightened out for you. And I believe they have.
Oh, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself now.
But you don't need to. If you could have heard Charlie in there a moment ago, your heart would have gone out to it. He wants to go back home where he's known and loved and respected. He wants to take you back as his wife.
Did he say that?
Yes. Wait, I'll let him tell you himself. Charlie.
Rose, I don't know what the Colonel has told you, but I'd like you to marry me right away.
What made you make up your mind so suddenly?
Oh, it isn't sudden. You know I've loved you all the time. I just wanted to make good, so you know I could take care of you before I'd ask you. You don't care for me the way you did when we were both back home, do you?
What makes you say that?
Because ever since I arrived, you sort of held me off. Have I done anything you could criticize since I've been here?
Oh, no, of course not.
Oh, then. Why can't we be the same as we were?
Well, I just wanted to be sure I still cared for you.
Well, I know I've caused you unhappiness, but I want to make up for it.
What are they saying? Something about putting on a makeup. If you hear anything like a kiss, sing out.
Oh, I'm not offering myself as a prize package, but I'll make good. I can go back to a job in Uncle's store, and he'll give us one of his houses to live in. Then we can build our future and be happy. You know I love you, and I want you.
Do you promise to love me, no matter what happens?
Forever.
Will you be good to me? Put up with my faults, pamper me and cuddle me?
Always.
And if I ever get dissatisfied, you'll talk me out of it. And make yourself so necessary that I just can't do without you.
If you'll only give me the chance.
All right, then I'll marry you.
When?
Tomorrow.
Darling.
Nothing like a definite system. Now, you have the license, the tickets. Matthew is getting the bouquet. And is taking care of the ring. He knows a lot about jewelry and such things. As soon as we get your clothes packed, we have nothing more to worry about until the ceremony.
Howdy, men. Walk right in.
You weren't going anywhere, were you?
What's the meaning of this?
Just a little pinch, that's all. Now, be a good boy and you won't have to wear any bracelets. How about it?
One moment, sir. Do I understand you are arresting this boy?
No, sir. He's already arrested.
Where's your warrant?
Oh, you want to be formal, do you? Well, how do you like the looks of these? Part of the money in that armored truck holdup. Where's the rest of it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Makes no never mind to me. They'll sweat an answer out of you downtown. Come on.
You can't arrest him on such a flimsy pretext as...
Finding 10 grand tucked away in his room? Suppose it is kind of silly, but us boys are like that sometimes.
But if you think I'm going to put up with an outrage like this, you're mistaken.
I've heard enough out of you. If you've got anything on your chest you want to get off, there's a judge downtown who gets paid for listening. No use wasting your breath on us. We're just hired help.
But you have no proof. The case has been investigated and he's been cleared. Did you ever hear of the constitutional law that a man cannot be put in jeopardy twice on the same charge? Did you know that? You can't arrest him. Don't you see how simple it will be? I simply say that I did it.
And they'd laugh themselves sick. If there's one thing harder in proving that you didn't do it, it's proving that you did.
All right. Suppose they do prove I'm innocent. By that time, the youngsters will be far away and safely married.
It's all a lot of hooey to me.
But, my dear man, we simply can't stand by and see this vicious frame-up ruin their lives.
But I do think it would be a good idea to let nature take its course and see what will happen.
Well, there's no time to lose. And if you refuse to help, I'll do it myself.
All right, all right. Have it your way.
May I say a few words? I've been living here with you gentlemen under false pretenses. I'm not an artist. I'm a model. A very poor model that nobody wants. When we separate tomorrow, I have nothing to look forward to except destitution and death. Let me take the blame.
Impossible. Why should you make this sacrifice?
Why, it would really be a kindness. There's nobody that cares about me, and I'd be sure of a roof over my head what few years I've got left.
There's a much better chance of them believing him than you. A guy what's busted can prove a motive anyway.
Gentlemen, I didn't ask either of you to bear the brunt of this situation. I simply asked that you testify that I studied Charlie and the movements of his truck. That I was absent at the time of the robbery and have been spending lavishly ever since.
Yeah, and when they looked at your records, they throw you out on your ear. But say, are you determined to go through with this?
I certainly am.
Then I'm your man. You know who I am? I don't. I've had so many names that I've forgotten my real one. And all them names are posted on the police blotters. If you want this rap to stick, I'm the guy to do it. Well, what do you say? Why, I used to be the best pickpocket in this district until all these fingers stiffened up. That's why I went into Turkish bars to work. And
Gentlemen,
now...
I appreciate your loyalty, but I can't let you do it, that's all.
Well, I'll toss you for to count me in. Okay. We'll count the straws.
Now, if we must gamble, let's gamble like gentlemen. Now, the man who gets the ace will...
Oh, no, you don't. You always deal, and I always get stuck.
Do you mean to insinuate that I would cheat?
I wish to insinuate nothing, only we cut for deal. High man deals. Ace counts high. Cut.
Draw poker, gentlemen, if that's agreeable to you.
You would take a game like that.
Since the stakes are already set, we might as well show our cards.
3 jacks.
Pair of 9s.
Can you tie that? Just nothing. How many?
Me 3 cards. Queen 8 and a 6.
How many?
2. Pair of deuces. You have a full house to beat.
Now, what could you draw to a mess like that? I'll have a new deal. Four aces. I win.
I won't permit it. It isn't fair.
You mean that you're welching on a gambling debt?
No.
I thought not. Now listen, here's the story. I and a bunch of my pals what beat it out of town stuck that ball full of nails in the street when Charlie drove it.
What's that about Charlie?
This doesn't concern you, Rose.
Oh, yes, it does. I want to know where Charlie is. He isn't in his room.
Charlie's been arrested for something I've just learned that Andy did.
Yes, me and some other guys held the truck up and...
I'd like for you to tell that to the district attorney, Carter. That's the whole story. Charlie Hooper is the innocent victim of a vicious frame-up concocted by this man who was supposed to be his friend and ours.
You seem to have covered everything, from ringing doorbells to scuttling battleships. And it doesn't surprise me to learn that you've added hijacking to your list. Colonel Ransom, I want to thank you for your help in apprehending this criminal. It'll just be a routine matter now to get the rest of the gang.
You'll release Charlie Hooper right away?
Well,
I'll be responsible for him. I'll produce him at any time. Besides, he's to be married today to Miss Wentworth here.
well, we might make a special point. Station 10, please. Release Charlie Hooper. Yes. Charge dismissed. I'll send the papers down in a few minutes.
I'm terribly sorry, Andy.
I had it coming. But you can't win all the time. Guess you sort of hate me now.
Of course I don't. You've been too good to me for that. If I write to you sometime, will you write back?
Sure.
And I can send you things, too. Can't I? I mean, little things like jelly and tobacco.
Trouble about that. I ain't worth it.
Maybe we'll come to see you sometime. Oh, I don't care what you've done. You were a friend to me when I needed one, and I'll always love you for that.
Come, dear.
Goodbye, Andy.
Providence has a way of rewarding heroes. And if there ever was a hero, you are one.
I'm just plain nuts.
Hi, Johnny. How's old boy? Give me my stuff. I'm out again. Not that I don't trust anybody around here, but business is business. Well, will you look who's here? Which way you going, Charlie, in or out?
Out.
Same here. What was you in for?
I was framed.
Oh, yeah? That's what they all say. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Back where I come from, they cut things like that up for fish bait.
Now, you just have time to pack your bags and catch the train. And here's the license and the tickets and the ring.
Goodbye, Colonel. You've been wonderful.
Goodbye, my dear. I know you'll be happy now.
Goodbye. You've been wonderful, too. Now, be good to Andy, and don't let him feel friendless.
Yes, we will, but you hurry if you want to catch that train. To be on the safe side, you spend your honeymoon in Montreal, if you know what I mean. I get it. Goodbye, Colonel. God bless you.
Charlie and Rose, they're going to be married.
Well, for the love of Methuselah. Hey, you ain't stringing me, are you?
No, sir. Everything's all fixed.
That's what you think.
Now, you go and grab your things, and I'll be with you in a minute.
All right.
Seems like I've been waiting hours. I'm glad it paid dividends.
I have some news for you. Tell your father and mother Colonel Lansing will be home tomorrow.
That's swell. How did you manage it?
Well, I'm going away.
Supposing I don't want you to go away.
Well, I have to.
Are you all ready?
Oh, Charlie, this is Colonel Ransom's grandson, Raymond. Raymond, this is Charlie Hooper.
How do you do?
Fine, thanks. You'll excuse us. We're in a hurry.
Where are you going?
We're going to be married.
Married?
Yeah. People are still doing it. Come on, Rose. Hurry up. Get your bag.
Just a minute. You can't run out on me like this and marry him. I won't let you. I love you. Don't you know that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Raymond, but
You really intend to go through with it? Without giving me a chance to tell you how much I care for you? And how much we have to look forward to together? Can't you wait long enough to find out if you could care for me just a little?
oh, I do care for you. I like you a lot. Oh, Nick.
I don't see where this is getting us anyplace. Come on, Rose.
Charlie Hooper? I want to hear just one thing from your own lips. You helped rob that truck, didn't you?
Why, certainly not.
You're
What
lying. You hid your share of the money behind that picture yourself, didn't you? You let me send Andy to prison. You were going to take our girl to help you get away. You miserable thief.
Oh, you're out of your mind, Colonel.
Don't lie to me. I've got proof.
Sorry, kid. I just can't help sticking my nose in other people's business.
Come.
I'm coming.
Now tell them.
Remember, Rose, I said I'd try and help you figure things out? Well, I did a little figuring, and that's how I got these hot bills from him.
Well, that's a lie.
Listen, buddy, there's one thing that don't lie, and that's money. When Grandpa tipped me off to the serial numbers, I checked up. Take a look at these.
Well, you can't pin that on me. This is a frame-up. You got that from someone else.
Oh, yeah? Would you like me to go into more intimate details? Why don't somebody call the cops?
Oh, we don't want the cops. Let him fight.
Help! Please! Call the cops! Quick! Oh, murder! Police!
Stop it! Stop it, I say!
Why don't you call the police?
Don't let him get away.
Hello? Give me the police station, quick.
What's going on here?
These guys have been fighting.
I want you to arrest that man for the robbery of the National Trust truck. Got any proof? Plenty. I'll go along with you. Come on, buddy. Come on. Good boy. Take care of Raymond. I've got to have a little talk with the district attorney. I made a little mistake.
Well, come on, son. We got to get you cleaned up. Yes, some of my best works are hanging in the galleries abroad.
Well, I was in Paris once.
How long?
Oh, 180 days. 6 months.
Well.
Well, good
evening, my dear.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you all?
Fine. Nice girl.
Yes, if there were more women like her, it would be a better world to live in.
Grandfather, the car is here to take you home to dinner.
Gentlemen, will you join me at dinner?
No, we had dinner over there last night.
I've got a grand stew cooking.
Tell your father and mother I'm dining with my friends tonight.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.